Today, I've put together 10 tips for your LADA diabetes journey. So everybody's LADA diabetes journey is very unique, and I went through this starting over a decade ago, and I wrote a book called Success with LADA Diabetes, and now here on YouTube, I am sharing my knowledge to help you with your LADA diabetes journey. So let's hop on in and talk about the most important tips that helped me, what I discovered along the way that could also help you no matter where you are in your journey. Number one, everyone's journey is unique. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to your own history, to you, because you know what it was like for you a year ago, 10 years ago, and you're in a different place than everybody else. There were certain stages that I went through that I think a lot of people with LADA diabetes do go through. So let's talk about those. And the tips here will be applicable no matter where you are in your journey. So flaky pancreas is what I coined the very first stage of this LADA diabetes journey. So LADA stands for latent autoimmune diabetes in adults. It's a slow onset form of type 1 diabetes. It's really a subtype of type 1 diabetes. And in my case, I had some symptoms of this diabetes prior to my blood sugar going really high. I had flaky pancreas. So I had symptoms where after eating something that was very sugary food, I didn't feel good. So like an orange juice or potato soup. So there was something going on with my insulin producing capabilities. And I think this is very common. Sometimes people have reactive hypoglycemia where they get low blood sugar several hours after eating. These could be the signs that maybe something is flaky in your pancreas. The pancreas is the organ behind your stomach. It's the only place in your whole body that produces insulin. Insulin is a hormone that is critical to survival. So even before diagnosis, it's possible that you might have had some flaky pancreas, weird feelings where maybe your blood sugar felt like it was crashing really fast after exercise. This is apparently relatively common. And then the next common thing is misdiagnosis. So the studies say that between 10 to 20% of people diagnosed as type 2 diabetes actually were misdiagnosed, and they have LADA diabetes or type 1 diabetes in onset in adults. So misdiagnosis, if that happened to you, it's very common. Unfortunately, type 2 diabetes is so common that a lot of doctors assume it's type 2 diabetes, but LADA diabetes and type 1 diabetes, which can occur at any age, have a completely different cause than type 2 diabetes, and they need a different treatment. So getting that right diagnosis is critical. And then the third stage is the honeymoon stage, and everybody's different on how long the honeymoon stage lasts. It may be very short for you, or maybe even non-existent, or it may last several months or several years or more. During the honeymoon stage, changes in diet and exercise can be enough to keep blood sugar within a normal range. It's when you start needing insulin that you officially move out of the honeymoon stage, and everybody's different in the timing there because everybody's body is different, everybody's journey is different. So then you will have to begin insulin because insulin is what you need. That's the problem. You don't have enough insulin. However, when you first begin insulin, often if you have LADA diabetes, you may be very sensitive to insulin, which makes dosing insulin especially challenging. And then over the years, as things progress, generally you will be just like type 1 diabetes. So LADA diabetes is a subtype of type 1, and you'll need insulin just as somebody with type 1 diabetes. So those are the general stages of the LADA diabetes journey, but everybody is unique. And so no matter where you are in this journey, I hope that there'll be some tips here that will help you. So number 2 tip is reduce carbohydrates. So if you have studied anything about diabetes, you probably know that counting carbs is a big part of it, which is reducing carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are the type of food that has the most immediate impact on blood sugar. And especially fast-acting carbohydrates can be a problem with somebody with LADA diabetes because the insulin isn't working to respond quickly enough to the food. So this is a list of common carbohydrates. And if there's any of these that you can reduce, you will probably find that it's easier to manage your blood sugar. So bread, rice, potatoes, pasta, crackers, cereal, sugary drinks. Those are the things that you can look for if you have those in your diet. If you can reduce them and replace some other kind of food, that will probably make it easier for you to manage your diabetes. And number 3 is increase protein. So I found that it made a very big difference in the stabilizing effect of protein, even when I was in the honeymoon stage. So if you can add protein to your meal along with reducing carbohydrates, you'll probably find it a lot easier to keep your blood sugar in a more stable range. Eggs, fish, nuts, chicken, beef, cheese, and tofu are some great examples of foods that are high in protein, and there are other choices out there as well. I found personally that even if I ate the carbohydrates still, so for example, if I ate an English muffin, if I ate it with like jam and butter, my blood sugar would go up much more and have much more erratic blood sugar than if I had that English muffin with some protein like an egg and sausage sandwich. Much more, I felt better in the morning and it was much more stabilizing blood sugar. So if you're feeling like, oh, these ups and downs, or if you have a monitor and you're seeing your blood sugar is going up and down, try to reduce the carbohydrates and increase the protein. Tip number 4 is exercise. It's remarkable how something like a 20-minute walk every day can make a really big difference on your blood sugar. So it's also great for mental health. So if you can go outside and walk in any direction for 10 minutes, turn around and come back and do that almost every day, it's going to make a difference. Enjoy the beautiful flowers out there if you can, or if there's a park nearby. It doesn't have to be walking. Anything you enjoy that gets you moving is a great way to help improve your insulin sensitivity. And everything with LADA diabetes on this journey is about increasing insulin sensitivity, since the whole problem is your body isn't producing enough insulin because of this autoimmune attack on your pancreas. So anything that increases insulin sensitivity will mean that it'll be easier to manage your blood sugar, whether you need insulin now or in the future. Tip number 5 is learn about insulin. Now, I know I thought that needing insulin, it felt very scary for me. When I was early on this journey, it's like, oh, I have the type of diabetes that requires insulin. Oh, that means insulin shots. And actually later on, it meant insulin pump, which I found to be better than insulin shots. And I do have some other videos about insulin pumps, although starting with insulin shots is extremely common. There's a couple of different types of insulin, as well as there's a whole wealth of information to learn about how to dose insulin. And this book, Think Like a Pancreas, I highly recommend it as a great starting place to learn about insulin. And it's totally understandable if you're scared of insulin, but insulin is the solution that your body will need if it doesn't need it already, because everybody needs insulin to use the energy from food. And if you have LADA diabetes, you're not able to produce that insulin naturally. So learn about insulin. Try a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor. Now, you may already have a glucose meter. If you don't have a glucose meter, that's definitely a great thing to get, and learn how to use a glucose meter, which is a glucose meter. You prick your finger and you get a little drop of blood and you test your blood sugar. However, a continuous glucose monitor gives you a graph showing your blood sugar all the time, essentially. And it gives you so much more information. There's quite a few different CGMs you can choose from. Talk to your doctor about it. Weigh your options as far as cost goes. Aside from it, it gives you a wealth of information so you can learn how is your blood sugar doing, how is it responding to food and insulin, and if you are needing insulin shots and doing insulin injections or an insulin pump, a CGM is so valuable, because if you get too much insulin, you can get low blood sugar, which is really scary. It makes you feel terrible. And so a CGM a lot of times can warn you that you're going to get low blood sugar, and it can actually tell you in enough time that you can prevent that low blood sugar. So a continuous glucose monitor Blood sugar doesn't stay steady. As you can see, it goes up and down. That's completely normal. The whole goal is to try to keep it in range as much as possible. And if you have insulin plus a CGM, those are the tools those are the necessary tools to keep your blood sugar in range as much as possible. It's not possible to keep your blood sugar in range all the time, but if you can keep it in range a good proportion of the time, then it will reduce long-term health implications, which is why we all care so much about diabetes, right? It's because we don't want to have health problems from it. It's proven that high blood sugar, unfortunately, prolonged high blood sugar, unfortunately, does cause a lot of health complications. So this is such an important thing to learn about and to really take care of yourself. All these topics and much more I talk about in my book, Success with LADA Diabetes. So if this topic appeals to you, you can scan the QR code and get the book. And I also have some other YouTube videos. And please subscribe and give it the thumbs up so I can get the word out there, because so many people are being misdiagnosed with type 2 diabetes and could really benefit from learning about type 1 diabetes, what is LADA diabetes is a subtype of type 1 diabetes. Number 7 is be kind to yourself. So to have a body part failing because your body's attacking it, that is stressful. And then to be told, oh, you have to do injections or you have to get an insulin pump, and it's going to cost money, and maybe you don't know anybody else who has this problem. I sure, in real life, I'm the only person I know with this problem. So fortunately online there's great support groups, but be kind to yourself. I have a whole blog post about why diabetes is so stressful, but think about it. It's you're going to have to change. You're going to have to change a lot of things about your lifestyle, probably about what you're eating and exercise. If you can exercise, that will help you out so much. And it's something that is definitely a challenge, and take every day, one day at a time. I totally understand if you're stressed about this. I'm going to talk more about mental health in other videos because it's way, way, way too important. Number 8, poor sleep affects blood sugar. So if you got a bad night's sleep, it's likely your blood sugar might be higher. You get insulin resistance from not sleeping. So if there's anything you can do to get a good night's sleep and prioritize getting a good night's sleep, that will help your diabetes as well. Number 9, try substituting lower carb options. So if you like baked foods like muffins and stuff, you can still eat muffins. Get almond flour muffins or make almond flour muffins. There's some great recipes. I'll post in the description about a recipe to that for an almond flour muffin that I like. Also chickpea pasta, a brand called Banza. So chickpeas are higher in protein and fiber. Both protein and fiber help with stabilizing blood sugar. Chickpea pasta, I think, tastes really, really close to regular pasta, actually, and I enjoy it very much. It still has carbohydrates, but it's less carbohydrates than the regular pasta. High protein cereal. I eat Catalina Crunch cereal almost every day for breakfast. I enjoy it, and I dose insulin for it, and it works out well. I avoid regular cereal because regular cereal spikes my blood sugar, and it's difficult to get the insulin right for regular cereal. So Catalina Crunch, delicious. Also, I like to put some berries in it. Cauliflower rice. Cauliflower is a great vegetable. It's supposed to have some anti-cancer properties. Cauliflower rice, also cauliflower mashed potatoes. So these are just some options for substituting things that are lower carbohydrates. It can take some time to try these out and see if you like them. But fortunately, there are more and more options out there because a lot of people do have diabetes and are looking for lower carb solutions. And number 10, reducing stress makes a big difference. So I have seen it firsthand that when my stress goes up, my blood sugar goes up. I need more insulin to control my blood sugar on a very stressful day. They say mind-body connection. It's more like mind and body are one. It's amazing. So reducing stress. Now that could be meditation. That could be getting outside, taking walks, doing some exercise, doing something that you enjoy, having fun, hang out with friends, trying to get a lower workload if you can, if work is stressing you out, getting enough sleep. There's a very big mental health connection here. Don't take that lightly. Stress does have it can have a really big impact on blood sugar. So those are my 10 steps aimed at anybody with LADA diabetes, no matter where you are in your journey. I will do more videos about more specific topics in the future. Please subscribe and give this a thumbs up. And I think you can ring the bell too if you want to be notified in the future about more videos. And also my shirt, Insulin for All. It's from T1 International organization working to make insulin available to everybody worldwide. It's such an important topic. Thank you, everybody.